The Ohio Veterans Hall of Fame recognizes Ohio's distinguished men and women who have worn the uniform of our nation's armed forces and then continue to contribute to their communities, state, and nation through exceptional acts of volunteerism, advocacy, professional distinction, public service, and philanthropy. The Ohio Veterans Hall of Fame. Nominate a veteran today.
J.P. Nassif, Air Force, served during the 80s and 90s. So I was born in Wiesbaden, West Germany. So I was part of a military family, an Air Force brat. And then we moved to go to the Air Force Institute of Technology at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. It's a hospitable community and a friendly community and a welcoming community. And that made an impact on me. And so when I was making decisions on where to go to undergrad, I went to the University of Dayton. I wanted to stay as long as I could. I went to ROTC there. Then I did the Air Force ROTC program at Wright State. So I got to know Wright State, went there 2 days a week for ROTC classes. Then I went on active duty. And while I was on active duty, I went and was reassigned to Southern California to the Space and Missile Center out in Los Angeles and lived there. That's where I met my wife. At the time, there was a developmental program for navigation satellites that, of course, became the Global Positioning System. So I was part of that program. I was on the software development end of that program to field what became the operational GPS. And that was in the early 90s that I joined that program. And my sponsor, the person running the space business for the Air Force, was a guy named General Les Lyles, who ended up, coming back and being the 4-star general at Wright-Patterson. But he had nominated me for a position at Wright-Patterson. And so I came back for that position from California, thinking I'd only be here for a year or two. But as we took our first, job here after I got out of the military, we looked around like, why would we move from here? There were a lot of opportunities. I took an opportunity, a great one for me at the time with Deloitte. And then when the BRAC got voted in by Congress, I believe it was in 2001, members of the Dayton Development Coalition, at the time it was the Miami Valley Economic Development Corporation, our coalition, approached me. Again, they knew I was in the Air Force and I seemed to, enjoy being around the people in the Dayton community. They said, hey, can you help us put a strategy and a plan together around protecting Wright-Pat? It went really well for the Dayton community, again, primarily because of the work that the men and women serving and the civilians and the contractor support inside the fence are the best in the world at what they do. And they've been doing it since the Wright brothers were learning how to control powered flight on Huffman Prairie. I mean, this is deep-rooted DNA, both for the Dayton community and for the United States Air Force. It's right here. And you know what? During that time, we also started a program called Hometown Heroes. So the military members and their families and veterans that sometimes rotate and move around can feel a real part of that community. So it provided, through sponsor support, access, so they could have tickets and they could come for free or something deeply discounted. We would have recognition for them and their families on the field, so it could build broad support and awareness. And it was really a way for citizens that wanted to do it. It gave them a way to say thank you. And so that program started with the Dayton Dragons, minor league baseball, and then we spread it to NCAA basketball with the kickoff to the NCAA tournament that happens every year at the University of Dayton Arena. We've had the President of the United States come. Once we started here, Governor DeWine and then Lieutenant Governor Husted, laid out that they wanted Ohio to be the most military-friendly state in the country. And one of the many ways we do that is we've spread that Hometown Heroes initiative all across the state. We do 16 events a year, professional tennis. We join Jack Nicklaus in the Memorial. We have free concerts in Toledo and in Youngstown. We do things with the Cleveland Guardians. It's just a wonderful way that a community and the state can thank those that serve and their families. And it's very important. When I left the coalition at end of 2008, I went out and did private business and other things. And I got a phone call from Senator John Husted, then a candidate for Lieutenant Governor John Husted, and he asked if I would consider throwing my hat into the ring for the position at Jobs Ohio. And I said, let's let's go. And it's been incredible 5.5, 6 years. It really has been incredible. It's a great honor, again, with those that have been recognized, the combatant warrior heroes, and those that are recognized posthumously, and just, humbled. But what an honor, and it's so great that General Ashenhurst and Governor DeWine make that a priority, to recognizing and being part of that. And it's a big deal. So I felt honored and humbled, and was very, very grateful to be considered as part of that group.
Selection and induction into the Ohio Veterans Hall of Fame is a great honor. Nominate a veteran today